In today's video, I talk about a ever-growing hobby, diamond painting. Let's take a look. Well, here I have one of the first diamond paintings that I ever did, and this was a hobby that actually got started with my wife, and she enjoyed it so much she pulled me into it and said, hey, you've got to look at this, you've got to try this, it is something that I absolutely love. So we got a couple so that way we can do it together. And that is one of the great things about this hobby, is a fairly easy one to get into, fairly easy one to go. The whole family can enjoy it. The way it works is it's almost a color by number. Let me zoom out now so we can see this one right here. This one is one of the smaller ones, but one of the reasons I really liked this one was that the image itself was very close up. So there was a ton of contrast, a ton of look to this. I mean, you can really tell what this is with this leopard spy, these leopard eyes. And the way that the diamond painting works is you have a grid over here on the side that's going to tell whatever particular company that you're working with the number. Usually this will be like a 1 through however many colors are on here. Here with diamond dots, it's a whatever the number is. Then we have the symbol. On the sheet here, each one of these little dots, there's actually going to be a symbol. I'll grab one of my other ones here in a second so I can show you without the diamonds actually on here. And then for that company, their number for their dots. Because for, like, say, diamond dots, for example, their black is always going to be 8001. So if I get another set that has the black, the number might be different. The sign, whatever, the symbol here might be a little different, but this will always be the same. And where that helps is for storage, because when you finish one of these, you will have some leftover diamonds. And even just for, while you are working, it is nice to have some kind of storage. So I did have this one right here. They look like little tic-tac type containers that I just put the little sticker on, put the number on, and this way I can put all of my extra diamonds in here. Now, of course, I have these kind of sort of all over the place, so mine's kind of in shambles right here, but this gives you an idea of how that looks, and that really helps. But then when you're done, as you can see, when I'm kind of moving it around here, how that glimmers and shines. You can see all those little diamonds, those little facets, just shining. It winds up with something very pretty, very nice to look at. So then a lot of people will then, frame these and hang them up. There are two main kinds of diamonds here. This one is one of the circle designs. Here we go. This one is one of the circle designs, but there is also square, and these are called drills. These diamonds are actually called drills. And when you are looking online for the different drills, a lot of times you'll see like a D3 or a D5. And what that means is the number of sides that the diamond has, whether there's 3 sides or 5 on them. But so that is there. So you can kind of see that shine. But so that is what diamond dots is, diamond painting is. It is a lot of fun. Again, one of the best things is just being able to do this with the entire family, getting everybody involved. Me and my wife, we kind of started it, but my son and daughter immediately wanted to get in and do it as well, and do their own. So now here I'm going to get one of my uncompleted ones that I'm kind of working on, so you can see the underside here, so you can see how it looks, how the symbols work. We can talk a little about actually doing it, how that all works, and then I'll go over some tips and tricks for when you're doing them. Which, of course, trick number 1 is getting yourself some kind of storage medium to put all your diamonds in, because they will come here in these bags, and as you can see, there's a lot in here. And if you just leave them in these bags, My wife, on her very first one, she accidentally threw out some of these. Luckily, it was the diamond dots, and we were able to go to Joann's and buy just individual diamonds and buy some replacements for it. But if that's not the case, you might have a hard time getting some replacements. So once you open a bag, having somewhere to put them, having somewhere to store them, and then just have the little bit that you're using for that session or for that little section that you're working on really does help. So tip trick number 1, storage medium. Well, here's the one that I'm currently working on, and this also gives me a great example to show one of the two main types that you will find, besides just the style of diamond being square or round, but you can have either a full or a partial. Now, if you remember, for the one that I just showed off, the leopard spy, the entire thing was covered with diamonds. With this one, you can see up here in the top, there was actually no diamonds on here. That is just matte. But all here where you see the horse, this is all where the diamonds are going to go. And you see this plastic sheet here, that has a use. There's a reason for that. Let's go ahead and zoom in. There we go. So now we can take a look. So then here we can kind of see where I was talking about the symbols. So let's come, where are you? Here we go. So here we can see my little grid pattern, and it shows those symbols. And here for 0, for example, we can see the 0, and I got a little crud on me. We can see the 0, and you can see the little symbols over here. So I know that these zeros are going to go all over here. And that is how all of these are going to work. So you can see all the different symbols, so we know where to put everything. And the reason we have this plastic oversheet is because there is already glue down on here. So I don't know if you can tell, but when I'm pulling off, there's a pull because the plastic does stick to it. So the glue is already on here, so all you have to do is take your diamond and stick it on there. So then of course you're wondering, well, how do I do that? One of the other things that the set is going to come with are these pens. And here we go. Let's zoom out a little more. Here we go. So you'll come with something like this, some little kit like this. It's going to come with your pen. It's going to come with some wax and then a whole bunch of bags. Now, so you can use these bags to store your diamonds again after you open them from the bags. You can use this to store them in. I prefer, something a little better, which is why we got these. But technically, it does come with little bags. So what you will do is you will take your pen, dip it in the wax, and then that will make the diamonds then adhere to the pen. And so then you just, pick the diamond you want and place it where you want. The glue on the mat is stronger than the wax adhesion into the pen. So once you pop it on there and lift up, it's going to stay on the mat and come off, and then so you just keep going back and forth. The other thing you're going to get is some kind of tray. So this would be where you'd put the diamonds in, so then you can give a little shimmy, and it'll put all the diamonds out here, so then you can grab your diamond, put it on, so forth and so on. Which brings me to my next 2 tips. Tip number 1 is this wax. I personally do not like it. What I do is I have some of this, some of my hobby. A lot of people call this blue tack, but it is adhesive putty. A lot of people in the miniature hobby world will use this to take a bunch of this, put it on some kind of stand so they can put their miniature on for painting purposes. But here, what I will do is I will take my adhesive, and again, this is the 3M version, so it's just the gray, and you only need a little amount like this, and I will get it and I will do it out so I have a nice little thin little layer, put that down on my table, and then take my pen and completely push it through so it completely goes through the putty like that. Okay, and then what that does now is within, let's see if we can zoom in again, within, all right, come on, you're gonna focus for me? My camera's freaking out. Okay, it's not gonna work. There, you can kind of see it. Okay, but then I got some of that putty now on the inside, and this will last a long time. This will last your entire painting session. It'll probably last, you know, a good week without you ever having to re-put any in here, where with this you're constantly having to get additional wax and then go. Here, once you've kind of got this adhesive putty in here, you are now good to go for your entire painting session. My next tip is, once you have gotten a couple sets, each one will come with one of these containers. You will find that some of the diamonds or some of the drills do stick together. So one of the easy things that you can do is put your diamonds in one, lay your next tray on top, and then literally just start squeezing it together, and you will hear little pops, little cracks. And that's not your diamonds breaking. That's where the diamonds have slightly, you know, glued or stuck together, popping apart. And it is so much easier to separate them in that means, in that fashion, than to try to take the one and with your nails, you know, pick them apart and pick those drills apart. So take two of your containers and just do like that. They'll come apart. One of the other problems that you'll have with these is static electricity. Static electricity is one of the things that I really hated. I found it to be a little more prevalent here with these diamond drills, diamond dots. One, just go down to your laundry room, go get one of your dryer sheets, cut little sheets of them. You know, those are naturally made to help relieve static cleaning for your clothes. So you can cut little squares, stick it in there, put it in one of the bags, move it around. It'll take all that static cleaning out. So dryer sheets for removing static cleaning. Tip number, I guess that's 4 now. And then I thought I would also show you guys, so you can see another example. This is one of the ones that my wife has done, and it's for a different company, but again, you can see they're very similar. Has that same little shine. Zoom in here, you can see. But as you can see, just with all the other things, has that same kind of system going, where just your numbers 1 through however many colors there are, the symbol that's going to be on the thing itself, and then their code. And here, this DMC. I think this DMC code is a fairly standard code, but I'm not 100% positive on that one. But there's for that one. So again, so she can keep track of everything. So that one was her first. So while painting, what I do for organization purposes is I have this magnetic mat, and that's exactly what it is. It is a magnetic mat. It is a dry erase magnetic mat, and then I have these little metal tins which then stick to it. And what this allows me to do is write down the number that I'm doing, so it'd be the 1 through whatever, and then I go ahead and put the symbol that I'm also doing, and then I put the diamonds for that one, or at least some of them, in my little bin, so that way, and then I'm doing that as I go. So because what you're going to be doing is you'll be working on little sections at a time. So I found this to be a quick way for me to switch colors easily without, you know, losing anything. And being that this is a magnetic surface, I'm not worried about the table shaking or bumping it or whatever, and these going flying, because it does stick to this mat very well. So the one thing though that I do is, you can see, because I have lots of extra of these little bins, so for the ones that I'm not really using at the moment, I kind of just use them also as a lid and kind of put them on there again, just to help to make sure that they don't come out, they don't fly anywhere. I personally have never had that problem. Luckily, I don't have really little kids. I don't have animals that's going to bump, or a cat that's going to bump or move anything. If you have that kind of situation, this might not be as best for you, but for me, this works really great, and it does really good job for being able to change out my colors and switch things out. One of the other things that a lot of people will do is they'll actually, in the plastic, put little cuts in there and rip it off. Says, you notice with mine, we had that, you know, when I lifted the big sheet, it was the whole thing. Well, so that way, if they put little cuts every, you know, 3 inches or so, then they can move it up and just have this one little section that they're working on, and have the rest completely adhered to it as they go on. So that really helps, you know, work in just little sections. Okay, now back to this one. My next trick is for flattening your canvas. Now, when you get these, they're going to be rolled up, you know, like so, and in the box or however they came. So when you immediately open this up, you know, you're going to have that natural curl to them. How do you stall that? How do you get to, you can open your bin, open your box, and immediately start painting without, you know, some people talk about, you know, weighing it down, putting it upside down, whatever it is. There's a whole lot easier trick, and this trick works better if it is a full drill. So this one, it wasn't as good with, because there is no glue here up in this top section. But what you will do is, the very first thing when you get your canvas is immediately lift up your sheet, kind of like to the corner, and then re-put it back down. I know you're thinking, well, what's that going to do? It sounds silly, but once you do that, you kind of then immediately push your canvas back to where it kind of needs to be, and just by doing that, it will flatten out your, because even here, you can see where I just kind of did that again. There was a slight curl here, and now it is much flatter, laying down here a lot flatter. Just do that to the 4 corners, and then all of a sudden you will have a nice flat canvas to start painting on. So to get rid of that curl, when you first open them up, lift the corner, lay it back down. All 4 sides, you're going to be good to go. And then my final trick for you guys is protecting your canvas. Now, the very first thing you're going to do is, once you do that, and this is actually one of my wife's absolute favorite parts, is just being able to feel the canvas, because you can feel all the little dots and it feels nice. But when you put your hand across it, you will feel where some of the diamonds have lifted up, might be slightly on top of one another, and you can just kind of push that one diamond, move it around. This glue is good. It sticks to everything, but it's not so permanent, and so like when you put one down, it immediately sticks and it's there forever. If you put one down in the wrong place, you can very easily kind of slide it to the next section to where you need it to be. You can move things around very easily, so that's no problem. But here you can just kind of like use your finger, kind of really push it down and kind of move them a little bit. I know where a lot of people also have like straight edges for like little metal spatulas or metal rulers or whatever, and they'll use those to push on the diamonds to try to get them in a straight line. And there, let me fix. See, one even just popped off. You can see there, so easy to fix. But that right there is a great tip. Just by, you saw me kind of just moving around, that one diamond just popped off right there on me. Just grab my pen, put it back. But what you're going to want to do here at the end is take something like this. This just came in one of our little kits that we got, one of our little upgrade kits, and where you can just go over yours to really press everything down onto your canvas to make sure we have a good press. Then you're going to want a nice large brush so it doesn't take forever to do it, but then get yourself some sealer. Now here, this is the Mod Podge Super Gloss. This one is for their paper range. So if you're in a hobby store with the paper type products, that's where you will find this one, because a lot of times they'll have their Mod Podge in multiple different sections, whether you're talking about the one for fabrics or papers or whatever. But this is the Super Gloss. You can just use this straight out of the container, and you don't need to water it down whatsoever. Just get some, put it on your brush, and brush over it. Now when you put this down, it'll come down white. But it will dry clear, so you don't have to worry about that. One of the good things that it does come out kind of white when you're painting it down is you can see where you're putting it. Now, once you put this down, the gloss will keep it, so you keep your shine, but then it'll keep the diamonds, help protect them, because this glue probably won't last forever. Additionally, as you can see here with these round ones, zoom in a little bit, there's lots of spaces here between all the little round drills. Well, there is glue from the canvas in each one of these little corners, and that is a space that technically dirt, dust, anything can get in there. So then if you were to then put your sealer down, it will fill in all of those gaps, put a coat over there, so now all of a sudden you don't have the glue there, so you don't have to worry about dirt or debris or anything, especially if you have these out for display, getting in there and kind of ruining your diamond art. Well, that is my beginner's guide for diamond painting, and a few tips and tricks that I have learned along the way as I have started this hobby with my wife. I hope this video has helped you to determine if this hobby is something you would be interested in getting into, or maybe something that you would be looking into getting for maybe a significant other or one of your kids. It is a lot of fun. It's very soothing going and putting on there. You do have to have a little bit of patience to do it, because it's very repetitious, just putting the dots in. They do have tools that let you be able to put 4, 3, 4, 5, 6 whatever diamonds all at once. I really don't like those tools. I kind of like to just do one at a time. But that's just me. Even with those, you can still use the same putty trick, sticking the putty in those just the same way as you would the wax that comes with them. But once again, I hope this video has helped you to determine if this is something you'd be interested in, not necessarily for you, but then also for friends, family, loved ones, kids. This is a fairly universal hobby, easy to get started in, lots of fun, lots of different diamond paintings, from scenery to animals to fantastic designs, to fantasy designs to superhero stuff. We are looking to get our little girl some of them that are like bracelet type ones. So once she's put all the diamonds on, then it's a bracelet for her. Absolutely fantastic. We can't wait to get that, because she has even helped my wife with some of hers. Well, until next time, guys, I'll see you later.